Yo, let's talk about recognition and respect. While I feast, the label's picking up the check. Then I leave to catch my set. The audience never forgets when I'm on stage. There's serotonin drips with each phrase from my lips.
Buddy, how y'all doing? This is so awkward. Hold on, I probably should start that over. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Recognition and Respect with your boy SHNEAKY on the MMUpClan podcast network. There's obviously a lot going on right now. This is being recorded on April 2nd. The last podcast I did was in January. And obviously, if you're listening to this in the future or you're on another planet or something, it's the coronavirus pandemic crisis going on right now. And a lot of emotions, but mainly I'm feeling guilt, you know. I had actually decided to put the podcast kind of on the back burner, you know, and I actually had all the gear picked up, and I had told Rick from La Clica, like, I'm sorry, dude, like, I don't have time to podcast right now because I had a lot going on for myself, honestly. And I was producing a couple shows. I canceled all that, and I started focusing really on music. And for those who have been following Recognition and Respect since season one of the biggest points of the podcast and the business and everything that I was doing was to eventually push my music. And I had expressed so many times that I was not happy with, you know, the fact that I wasn't making more music, performing more music. And it just so happened that I joined a crew, the MMUpClan, who you will hear today on today's episode. And as you're going to find out, you know, they kind of changed my whole life musically, and my career, quote unquote, started taking off, you know. New project, shows, potential tour, some big things coming up. And I kind of said, yeah, well, I can't do podcasting anymore. And then the coronavirus hit, and everything got canceled, and venues and residencies and restaurants and everything kind of just went away. And I did not feel like doing shit. I was devastated, you know. The last time I DJ'd was March 14th for Indy's St. Patrick's Day celebration, and that was literally right before the lockdown got implemented, and businesses like couldn't have a lot of people and had to close and all of that. So yeah, we're like day 19 right now of the quarantine. And you know, for the first, I was devastated, broke, you know, no income, lots of uncertainty. And I'm telling you, like, the MMUpClan, you know, thanks to Face, really got to, you know, he really motivated me to stay productive, stay active. And honestly, like, I'm still doing like a huge balance of not doing anything and wallowing in like depression and kind of just like, you know, understanding the gravity of the situation. But I'm also like looking for some kind of normalcy, you know, like something to pass the time and to feel useful and with a purpose, you know. And so he really motivated that. Like, you know, the first thing I thought of was like, we could podcast from home. Like, if we can't go out and we can't be at venues and we can't be in big crowds, we could podcast. That's small. And I converted my apartment into a podcast studio, and been ordering gear to go live, and I'm doing like a live stream on Facebook right now, the Recognition and Respect podcast page, and I'm also recording this on, oh, that was awkward. I'm also recording this on the GoPro, so that there will be audio video component, and I'm figuring out how to get guests to live stream and be here via FaceTime or Zoom, display sharing, all that. So yeah, there's a little bit of guilt that I'd put all the podcasting shit away, and now podcasting is kind of what's saving me, it's kind of ironic. And yeah, so Face, Barlos, and myself, the Monster Mashup Clan, at least the rapper performer portion of it, recorded a podcast right when he got back from Ecuador, and we were just kind of on a mission to spread hope and supplies and distribute information. And so that's kind of what I'm trying to do here now, like CDC's telling people to wear masks, so like a lot of people are creating masks, so I'll be putting together a list of companies, local businesses that are trying to do masks and trying to do good things. And there's food drop-offs, and there are educational materials and all kinds of things that I'm trying to really bring to the folks, because now we're extended until April, until May, and so we're gonna need things to keep us sane, to keep us normal, to to engage us. And I'm hoping that this podcast and my guests and conversations and thoughts really are helpful, because it's helpful to me. And I learned this in season 1, that sometimes just getting up and recording something and just kind of putting it out there and just putting their thoughts out and being truthful and vulnerable, it's therapeutic, and also people relate to it. So I'm coming back to do the podcast. This was the first week that I woke up and felt inspired and motivated and felt like being productive. And I thought, I already had all the gear here, it was sitting here. So we did a podcast, and then for basically 2 weeks, I was just not doing a damn thing, just binge watched all kinds of things on Netflix and Disney Plus, and I just totally vegged out. And this was the first week I woke up and was like, yo, I want to do something. So season 2, episode 5, here we are. So basically, the MMUpClan put together a Patreon page to try to generate income for supplies and to fund projects and artists on our team and our network that had really got taken a blow from all this. And so the audio and the video are up behind the paywall, but I got permission to give the audio out and put it on the La Clica podcast in hopes that it could reach more people and we could do more good with it, because essentially the whole point is to keep hope and humanity alive and try to bring whatever we can. So that's the plan, really. And yeah, sorry, I'm reading my notes over here, and I'm also obviously a little stoned, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, so podcast is back. It's coming back in a big way. I'm still releasing season 1, so this will be released tomorrow, April 3rd, and then on April 7th, season 1, episode 4 with Nude Cosmetics will be re-released on Spotify and the La Clica podcast network. And I also have an update from Nikki about what's going on right now and what she's promoting, and that's kind of going to be the format until I can bring guests via Skype, webcam, Zoom, whatever. Season 1 will just be recaps and kind of updates from the artists or the guests of what they're doing now and how they're coping, and if they have any new projects or things that they're working on to like get through. I'll be trying to like put that out. So, and then season 2 will be my personal thoughts and the guests that I can get as soon as I get all my screen sharing. And there's honestly, I'll probably do an episode where I just explain more in depth about what was going on and why I canceled the podcasting stuff, like legitimately, and kind of like it's been a journey. I still don't have everything I need 100% right now. It's been a journey of like getting all the pieces together and realizing, I got one thing and then something else it's not compatible, doesn't work, and then I got another piece. And so yeah, I'm hoping to have all of that situated and be able to bring you a conclusion to that adventure. And just be bringing new content, new thoughts, and any information. So if there's anybody out there, and obviously like I've been reaching out through my networks already, and I will be compiling, aggregating some kind of resources page either in the description of the show or on my website or something. And so, obviously there's a lot of organizations and companies and people that are doing a lot more than what I am and what I'm capable of, but I'm just trying to do my part. So, and then again, if you are doing well and you have supplies or you have extra income, or you've been deemed essential and you're doing well, if you can support with anything on the Patreon, from as little as $1 to whatever you feel you can, everything helps. And if not, if you're donating to other organizations and doing better stuff with that money, I totally understand. I just, like I said, this hit me hard. Obviously I am privileged and blessed, and a lot of people, including myself, worked really hard to get the situation that I'm in, and I was able to suspend all my bills and basically I have no financial income, but I also don't have anything that I have to be paying right now. So I'm kind of like I washed, I broke even. So I'm okay, but trying to do more, trying to build more, trying to expand. I'm hoping that when this is all over, I'm in a position to bounce back, So I've been rambling. I'm obviously out of practice, and I'm dealing with a lot more things. I'm going live on Facebook, and I got the GoPro, and eventually I'm gonna have more things involved. But yeah, in spite of everything, I still feel like personally my life's good. I do know some folks that have been impacted, that are sick, that have passed, that are recovering. So this is very real to me, but at the same time, we are people, we endure. Our ancestors have gone through much more hardship. This isn't the first pandemic, plague, things are going to happen. People are going to die, and, there will be, at some point, there will be a horizon and a light at the end of the tunnel. And, when we get there, whoever is able to weather this storm, when we get there together, we get there stronger, and, we bounce back. And I have no doubt that people are resilient, and that, we've seen better for sure. I don't know if I've seen anything worse than this, but I feel like personally I've gone through worse than this. So I'm sure we all have our personal struggles that we've overcome, that have led us to this point. So it's just one more thing to build character, a reminder that we're all on this earth together, and that, as much as people try to separate us, this is the kind of event where everybody is one human race going through a pandemic of epic proportions. And yeah, I've never felt more together than hearing everybody having to be alone, and finding it so difficult. So my Twitter's popping. Don't follow me there if you're not ready for super lewd rated M for mature XXX shit, because everybody on there is just venting, going crazy and shock value. So follow me on all my Instagrams. I've been posting up portions of the video from today's episode, from the conversation you're about to hear. And at Official Sneaky, at Sneaky ENT, and the Recognition and Respect podcast has its own Instagram, which is Rec Respect. So REC Respect Pod. So with no further ado, this episode 1 was recorded of the Monster Cast. Yeah, it was recorded on March 19th, I believe. I'm actually not logged into all that right now. Let me look it up real quick, just so I can get you that information. Yeah, huge shout out to Abe for the GoPro, and La Clica, Rick, for letting me get the gear back, and shout out to Rulis for upgrading the internet and making sure that the complex could be broadcasting streams and shit. And I appreciate all of y'all, man. Whoever's listening, whoever's reached out and supported and FaceTime me, send me text messages, words of encouragement, listen to the new record. I've heard nothing but good things about it. And I'll be going way more into detail with everything that was going on before the pandemic. So get ready for that. Also, I figure I have so much time, and I had so many projects that I told myself I was going to do and never did. And I just feel like, what a better time to do all this shit that I have just sitting around that I always told myself I was too busy to get done, or there wasn't any value to it. And now it's like I have an abundance of time, and I'm searching for value and personal self-worth, in my experiences and what I can bring to people. So as depressing as all that sounds and is, and I'm not gonna front, and I'm pretty sure everybody's feeling a little depressed these days, but I feel like we can find joy in little victories that we have. Count your blessings, text people, FaceTime people, call people, connect, find a way. People are virtual raving and live streaming, and there's a whole new wave and a whole new society being created right now. And find some solace and some joy in the fact that people are so adept to adapt. Shout out to everybody on the front lines. Like I said, I got people personally affected who are out there trying to save lives, and now they're worried about their own. People have lost their lives. This shit's serious. Stay home and enjoy this conversation that the MMUpClan had on March 19th, recorded right here. And if you want to see the video and also other behind the scenes backstage stuff like freestyles and random conversations that the MMUpClan is having during these times, become a patron and support this new movement. So without further ado, enjoy the convo, and I'll see y'all later.
Yo, let's talk about recognition and respect. While I feast, the label's picking up the check. Then I leave to catch my set. The audience never forgets when I'm on stage. There's serotonin drips with each